What up, guys? I recently got a question from Mark, who's 42 years old, and he was curious about what I do for recovery. Now, I'm 38 at the time of recording this, so a little younger, but still in that range, right? Getting older range, but still fairly young, so we're staying active. And I wanted to show you guys what I do for my recovery. Now, the stuff that I'm going to show you guys today is geared towards what I would do on a day where I'm rolling. If I was lifting, some of this stuff would be a little bit different, right? Also, I'm not going to show you guys every single thing, so I'll talk about stretching, I'll talk about things like nutrition or whatever, but all of that stuff I've got videos on already, so if you want to check out some of the stretches that I do, see what I eat to get the most from my body for recovery and for everything else, you can check the description down below. But with that said, we'll jump into these ideas on recovery, and these are some activities that I do. Some of them I do every day, some of them I'll do like every other day or so, but each one is something that I do each week, and we'll go through the different recovery ideas, plus we'll talk about some supplements. So I know it's in vogue right now. Everybody's got an ice bath, everybody's using them, but it's an amazing tool for recovery. For me, like getting in there for 2 to 3 minutes on my rolling days is when I really do it. So if I'm lifting, I won't do the ice bath that day because I want to keep that inflammation in my muscles, but especially after a rolling day where I come home and I'm kind of banged up, my neck or my shoulders, everything's kind of jacked up, I'll jump in there for 2 to 3 minutes and I feel amazing afterwards. Even one of my guys, one of my coaches and students at the gym, who's helping all of our MMA fighters, he had like a low back issue. And so he comes over there like to the house almost every other day to jump in, and he said it made a massive difference with his low back issues that he was having, and so he said they cleared up. So it's been really good. I really like that tool. So again, you don't have to get the one that I have, but whatever sort of ice bath tool or ice bath tank that you want, I would definitely say it's a good investment. They're not cheap usually, but it's a great investment, especially if you're training and you want a little bit of recovery to come back to it from afterwards. So that is the number one on the list right now. Not number one as in this is like the main thing you need to be doing, but this is number one. And now we'll go down into near my office, and we'll go through some of the other tools and things like that that I use for recovery. All right, guys, so now we're in the downstairs part of my house. This is basically, it's half part living space, so there's, we've got some space in the back to have people over and watch fights and stuff like that. And then this section is my books and everything else, and I've got my office behind me. And so this is where, at nighttime especially, when I'm done with my evening rolling sessions, I'll come home, I'll take a shower, come back out, and I'll do all my stretching and stuff out here. I'm gonna show you guys the things that I like to do. Basically, it's almost like self-massage. I've done videos about stretching before. If you guys want to see what kind of stretches I like to do, you can look down into the description below, and there's some links there. But with that said, let's jump into these different ideas on using foam rollers and lacrosse balls and stuff like that. All right, guys, so I get a monthly massage from my massage therapist, but you know, a lot of times it's nice to be able to do some sort of self-work on yourself to loosen things up. And again, nothing groundbreaking here. We've got a foam roller, I've got a lacrosse ball, and I've got a massage gun. I'll talk about how I use them in a second. Nothing groundbreaking, but when I got the question about recovery, these are the things that I do. So the foam roller, obviously you can go through it. The big one that I like to go through, because again, when we're recovering from like training, when we think about what training does to us, one area for me is my back. We round so much with our back in jiu-jitsu that again, I'll notice after training sometimes my posture's messed up, and it kind of messes with my shoulder, and even sometimes it negatively affects my breathing because I'm not able to get a full deep breath. So I want to open things up, right? So I want to get into that position. So one of the things with the foam roller is we can get into positions where, you know, I am like maybe massaging my back out a little bit, but I can also open things up. And I'll sit here for just, you know, a minute or two at a time and just take some big deep breaths and just sink into it. And if I have some sort of ledge to grab onto, like for instance, like the bottom part of this this bookshelf, I can go in there with the foam roller and then grab onto it. It'll give me a nice little stretch through my chest and my stomach, and then sink into it. And again, I typically hold most things for about a minute, 2 minutes or so. And obviously if there's a sore area, you know, like as far as a sore musculature sore, I'll roll them out on a foam roller, again, putting my weight on it and grinding through. The lacrosse ball, I've talked about this before on the channel. I had some issues with my upper back for a while where like just a little pinch right in the upper back here. And when those things happen, like this little sucker is great for spot specific stuff. So the foam roller is like a big roller, right? Well, if you just want to hit like a little point, like a trigger point somewhere, this thing, I love it, right? It's a hard ball. You can get it from any sporting goods store, Amazon, whatever, and you can just dig it in there. I like it for using with my pecs, my shoulders, my traps, things like that. I even really like rolling my feet on it. I don't know about you guys, but like from doing jiu-jitsu for so long, I mean, my feet do get tight because, you know, you're constantly using them when you're training, right? And so just rolling my feet on them with this sucker is great. And then the last one is this massage gun, right? Everybody's seen one of these things before, you know. And again, nothing crazy, but what's nice about this thing is with that vibrating thing, like if I've got some really sore muscles, especially from lifting sometimes, like my legs will be trashed or I might have some soreness in a particular part of my body, I can basically dig in with this thing for a few minutes at a time, and it tends to help get that blood flow going, helps loosen things up, and then I can go back to training. And so these are a few tools that I keep down here in the basement where, again, most of the time I'm using these after my late session, after a shower, my body's already warm, and then going through and digging into those muscles a little bit, moving things around a little bit to help make sure I'm recovered for the next day. So anytime I talk about recovery, people always ask about supplements. Chewy, what supplements do you take? If you take any, I do take supplements, and so I want to give you the ones that I'm using currently or have used sometime recently. All of these supplements, when we're talking about recovery, are going to be geared towards helping me get better sleep, better rest, because again, at the end of the day, sleep, having good sleep is where you're going to get the most bang for your buck recovery-wise, right? It's our body's natural system for recovering from things, and so the better that I can sleep, the better off my recovery is going to be. So one of the supplements that I really like is CBD. Again, I know that a lot of people, you know, have tried CBD. It's all out everywhere. Again, I originally thought that CBD was sort of snake oil. I heard all the benefits about it and this and that. And then I started trying it. I remember in particular, there was an issue with my upper back where I was rolling with a friend of mine, and he's a good wrestler. He was snapping my neck down, and I had this just pain in the upper back constantly. And when I started using CBD, it seemed to help alleviate some of that muscle soreness. And again, it could have been a myriad of things, but again, it did correlate with that. So I've been a believer ever since, and I use it. And I typically use CBD before bed, about 30 minutes before I take my hot shower, before I go to bed. I'll take CBD and then kind of go from there. Shameless plug / full transparency. Charlotte's Web, the company right here, they are a sponsor of my podcast that I do. They're the CBD that I use, but they're also a sponsor. If you want to check them out, you can look at the links below and use Chewjitsu 20 for 20% off their stuff. But again, you can use whatever CBD company you want. Some of the other supplements that I take, like nutritional supplements, I pretty much always take magnesium and zinc. Magnesium especially has a very relaxing effect, and you can look up the stuff on it before you get into it and find the particular type of magnesium you want to take. But I like taking magnesium. And again, I'll put all the supplement lists and sort of the dosages that I use down below. But I like taking magnesium, I like taking zinc. And then I also take theanine and ashwagandha root from time to time. Theanine is a pretty cool supplement. It can help kind of chill you out. It can also, if you ever get some like caffeine jitters, you can take some theanine, and sometimes it'll help cut the edge off. But I like taking that before bed sometimes, and ashwagandha root periodically. Ashwagandha root's been shown to have a lot of different positive effects, and one of them is basically helping you deal with stress, right? And so, again, during certain periods of time, I may take that supplement. I don't take it all the time. Because again, I try not to take too many supplements, but I do take those. But those are the ones that are typically a part of my rest, getting ready to go to bed routine. We got CBD, zinc, magnesium, ashwagandha root, and theanine. All right, guys, so that's it. That's the gist of it. So, you know, if I'm at the gym and I got done training, I'll usually stretch at the gym. If I didn't have a chance, I'll come home after a shower late at night or later in the evening, and I'll take a little stretching session here. I'll take my ice baths here in the earlier part of the day. I don't like to do them late at night because it kind of like wakes me up. And then I like doing my foam rolling and different like massage type stuff that I can do myself. And then again, all of this, a lot of it is to help me sleep better too. Again, I'm someone that I have a very like my mind's always working anyway with this type of work that I do. And so I have to do little things to turn my brain off. And I don't know if you guys are like that. But because of that, a lot of the things that I do are basically geared towards helping me sleep. And I could probably do a whole video with you guys, maybe if that's something you want to see, on just getting better sleep. And there's some things that I've figured out that worked for me that kind of go against all the rules that you're supposed to do, but they work really well for me about getting some good sleep. But again, sleep, food,
few little recovery tools, and that's it. That's the idea, right? If you do that stuff, I mean, you'll notice a big difference as far as your recovery goes. And so again, take those and do with them what you will. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you next time.